Hey, and welcome, Sagittarius, to your January tarot reading. This is for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So you'll want to take a look at all the other videos that deal with those other portions of your chart to get a more clear, fuller picture of how the month is going to play out for you. Hi, I'm Paula B Energy, and I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to dive right into the reading and get right to it. Okay, so I like to do my readings such that we have a card for the recent past, so from now till 6 weeks back, then a card for the current energy, a card for what's coming up for you, a card for your challenges, and what's going to help you with those challenges. So I do 5 cards, and then I like to do some clarifiers. So I've pulled your first 5 cards right before I started recording, and your first card of the reading is the Justice card. This is the card of balance, the card of legal things, having to do with fairness and ultimately personal responsibility. So Sagittarius, in your recent past, it looks like that you've had maybe a run-in with the law or possibly just some kind of issue in your life where fairness has been a big part of the lesson. Could also be something that you've had to take personal responsibility for, or something that someone else needed to take personal responsibility for. They didn't, and that was unfair to you. Let's pull some clarifiers. And yes, it looks like this is probably a major thing happening in your life. For some of you, it could have been that you recently did something that had to do with our, grand social institutions like marriage or divorce or graduation. Could be one of those things. Some of you became lawyers, by the way, and that just happened recently, or you're on your way to doing so, or you're thinking about doing so. For some of you, I'm going to say this was, a breakup, because your other clarifying card is the Three of Swords. And I'm sorry, I didn't say. This is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is always about our institutions of our big life milestones, right? So this can be things like marriage or commitment to marriage. Can be things like graduations, things that have to do with ceremony, right? Or complicated processes that we have to go through in order to accomplish these things. So you've got the Hierophant and the Three of Swords upright. So this is mental anguish, right? The swords are all about our mental processes. It has to do with the element of air. And we see that these sword-like thoughts are just stabbing right through a heart. So you've had a tough time of it, Sagittarius. Not everyone. It'll be different degrees for each of you, but I feel that there's probably also been some sort of legal component in there. Perhaps you had to go to court, or you needed to threaten someone to go to court, or the court system was involved. Our legal or justice system was involved in some way. It could also just be that in your recent past, you've just had a situation that has been exceedingly unfair to you, and you're having to deal with those feelings of things being unfair. All right, your current energy, however, you seem to be handling it well. You've got the Six of Swords. This is the card of moving on. We see that she's got swords in the boat with her. So she's taking her thoughts and her conclusions and reasonings with her. It's the baggage, so to speak, of the situation. But she's not letting that stop her. She's moving forward into the future. Let's see what the clarifying cards have to say about it. Tell us about the Six of Swords, please. Ooh, all right. Oh, I like it. Nine of Cups popped out. Excellent. So you've got the Nine of Cups to clarify that Six of Swords. So you're going after your wishes and dreams, Sagittarius. That's what's happening. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. Cups is the suit in tarot that corresponds to the element of water, and water is our emotions. It symbolizes all those good feelings that we want to have and that we need to have as humans. And the Nine of Cups is all about getting that. Now, this is your personal dream, so not someone else's dreams. It's yours. And you also got the King of Cups. And the King of Cups is the masculine expression of Cups energy. It is all about expressing your emotion, right? Being the master of your emotions, not letting them rule you, but you are in conjunction. So here we go. We got moving on. Moving on for your hopes and dreams, and you're in charge of how you feel about all of it. And you're able to express your emotions freely and openly without fear of reprisal, without fear of someone's going to, not like what they have to hear. In fact, that actually doesn't matter to you at this point in time. You have just decided, hey, I have the right to have whatever emotion that I want to have, and I'm going to have it, and I'm going to express it, and I'm going to do so. And I take full personal responsibility for whatever consequences happen from that expression. That's the key, and that's how it hooks back up to the Justice card. We'll get some more detailed, pointed things towards health and love and so forth just a little bit farther in the reading. Okay, now, what's coming to you in January? Well, number one, you're going to have to keep those boundaries, Sagittarius. You've set some. This is the 9 of Wands, and in the 9 of Wands, what we see is someone taking a knee. It's a soldier, and he's taking a break. He's won some battles. You can see that there's some things behind him where he's won some battles, and he's resting a little bit from the latest one. But it's also a message of, here is where I take my stand. I'm not going any farther. This is my boundary. If you cross that, you're going to have some consequences. And I think that has to do with this recent past for you, Sagittarius. You've had a situation where, someone crossed a boundary that maybe you didn't know you had. And now you're like, okay, that's my boundary. Nobody's going to cross it from here on out. What else is coming towards you in January? Queen of Wands. Love it. So the Queen of Wands is the Queen of Fire and Passion, the Queen of Creativity. This is going to be a time in January when creative ideas are going to be coming to you. You may develop a big passion, and that could be something that might be career related. It might be a side hustle job that just like really fires you up. Could be a hobby. You may be traveling as well. I also want to say that whenever wands pop up, it also has to do with our connection to spirit, and that's big for January, and it's going to be big for all of 2025, actually. And then your second clarifying card is the World. So actually, Sagittarius, this is big for you. This whole thing is big for you. The setting the boundaries is going to be really, really important, and keeping them, because you have had to go through a big lesson. And you've learned the lesson, you've gathered some wisdom from it, and now you're ending that cycle. You've conquered that, you've learned it. And so you're going to take what you've learned and you're going to move forward into this new period. What is going to be your challenge in the month of January? Well, it looks like you have a tower. You have the tower, and you'll have a tower moment. I personally think you've already had the internal tower moment, but it is possible for some of you that you will have an epiphany. You'll have a realization, hey, this thought or whatever it is going to completely change the way you look at things. Most of the time when the tower card comes up, that is what has happened. For some of you, it could be that you have a big defining moment of major change. It could be some of you are moving house. It could be some of you are moving country. It could be something that is a bit of an upheaval, and with the tower, it's always totally and completely unexpected. I mean, there might be a part of you that expects it, but usually it's something that comes as a bit of a shock. What else will be the challenge? Okay, so here's going to be the challenge, especially when you have a tower moment. Number one, your challenge is going to be to stay in love. Ace of Cups, that is an offer of love. It's the beginning of love. We see aces are always the new beginnings, and cups are our emotions. We see a cycle there of the moons up above. So this is going to be the whole month. Your challenge, Sagittarius, is going to be to stay heart-centered, to stay in love for yourself first and foremost. That's where those boundaries come in. And secondly, for the people around you. Stay in love, and also not just be completely staying in love, but also be in charge of your mind. The King of Swords is the king of his mental abilities. He's clever. He is able to come up with great ideas. And also, he doesn't let his heart run away with him. He doesn't let his mind run away with him either. So he's very balanced. So it's going to take head and heart this month, Sagittarius, for you to move forward through this Tower moment. All right. And then what is going to help you in January with the Tower? Let's see. We have the Two of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are your resources. So Sagittarius, you're not doing this alone. You do have things that are going to be supporting you. In fact, it looks like you have quite a few, so much so that you're having to juggle the resources a little bit. Now, keep in mind your Pentacles, which are corresponding to the element of earth, right? So think grounded, think things that really lift us up and support us. So your resources are going to be things like your health, your money and career, your relationships, your time, your energy. All of these, anything that supports you is a resource. So be mindful of your resources. Be mindful that that boundary that you're having to create may be having to be created around the resources. So you may have to say no to some things so that you can husband your time and your energy. Let's clarify the Two of Pentacles, please. Tell us more about what's going to help us in the month. Okay, there's one. I need one more, please. Thank you. All right. You have made this choice, Sagittarius. So there's no more monkeying around. There's no more thinking about it. No more, you're ready to just go for it. And you have. You've made the choice. Three of Wands. We see the two wands there behind him. And then the third one right here, shining its light. So this is the fire of passion. This is the fire of going for it. And we see he's waiting for his ship to come in, and it is coming. So you're going to have support. Keep in mind, you have already made the choice. The other thing that's going to really help you is temperance. The actual word temperance means moderation or balance. And that's what the card is all about. What we see here is a balancing of heavenly and earthly energies. We see that there has to be the balance in order for everything to work properly the way it's supposed to. So you're going to be supported in your journey for January, even though you may have a moment or two of upheaval, whether that's internally or externally in your life. I do think that the Tower moment that is coming for you is related to what has happened to you in your recent past, and very much so has something to do with you setting the boundary. If we're talking about a health issue, you may have had to get help with a health issue, and I'm speaking like with a health professional. For a limited small number of you, it may have been that you have had to take somebody to court over a medical situation of some kind. But you're doing fine. You're moving forward. We've got that Six of Swords. You're going after your dreams. Health overall looks good, but I will say that it won't stay good unless you're able to set some boundaries. You've learned your lesson, so don't go backwards. Don't look backwards. If you notice in the Six of Swords, she's not looking backwards. She's looking in the direction that the boat is going. So now is not the time January is not the time for you to look back and go, oh, well, I did this thing and la la la. No, you're going to move forward. You're not looking back. So as far as health goes, your biggest challenge is going to be you're taking time out for self-love, taking time out for self-care, I should say, which is all about loving yourself, right? When we take care of ourselves, that means we love ourselves. And doing so logically, right? Not just what feels good, because often what feels good isn't actually what's good for us, but also using your very powerful powers of intellect to make right choices. That has to do with boundaries as well. You've made the decision. You have a health issue that you are wanting to tackle. You've already made that decision because you've got the Three of Wands there. And all you just need to help you work with that and for it to be successful for you is to have that balance. All right, now if we're talking about matters of the heart, we already discussed that for some of you, there was possibly a parting of the ways, or perhaps even something so formal as an actual divorce. I think for those of you that are in a stable relationship and you didn't have that happen, you are actually setting some goals together, and they're goals of each of you. You've got the Nine of Cups, but you've also got the King of Cups. So your goals together are going to be a meshing of your personal, each one of you, your personal dreams and wishes, right? And you're moving forward with that. It probably means you're going to have to set some boundaries, but the spark is still there. The passion is still there. So don't worry, you're going to be able to do this together. It's going to work out for you. You may have a little bit of a rocky spot, or it could just be that your tower is, hey, you finally realized something important about the relationship that makes you love that person even more. I like that. For those of you that are looking for love, it looks like you've been kind of mired in the past, or something has happened in the past that has caused you, quite a bit of heartbreak, especially that mental anguish part of the heartbreak. And you're really interested in moving forward with what your dreams and goals are. I would suggest, primarily because you have this King of Swords and you also have the Nine of Cups, I'm going to suggest that when you are putting together what kind of romantic relationship that you want, use your logic, use what you know about the past, and use your logic of what do I want, what qualities do I want in a person, what kind of love experience do I want to have, and have that in mind. This will really help you stay on track. It will help you to be patient as this new love interest is coming in. That's the ship that's coming in. You're going to be juggling some things. It's possible you may have two suitors or two options coming your way. That's a definite possibility, but there's also that sense of juggle what's right for you versus, your romanticized idea of what that is. All right, let's see. We didn't go over career. Let's see. So it looks like for some of you, Sagittarius, some of you may have lost a job or may have had some sort of issue with a job. It's very possible that there was some issues with personal responsibility, or even the company or organization you're working for not taking responsibility, kind of shirking some of that. And that was really a bit of a anguishing moment for you, but you're moving on. So whether that means you're moving on and just accepting things the way that they are, and you're moving forward with your own dreams and you have some plans of what's going to happen in the future, that's a possibility. Or it could actually be, for some of you, that you are moving on to a different position because their values just don't line up with yours. You are setting those boundaries. So for some of you, it's going to be that you are working your own business, or you've got a side hustle, and you're having to set some boundaries and create a little bit more balance so that you are able to move forward, still keep that job, has that income coming in, but also setting some boundaries so that, hey, there's some time to actually do this other thing, which is your real dream. I definitely think that that's going to happen as well. There's going to be a little bit of rockiness. For those of you with the career issues, I think the rockiness is something to do with the way you think about it. Not necessarily that you would lose a job or anything like that. I actually don't see that. You are going to have to juggle. I really think that a lot of you are juggling more than one job, or you're juggling a job and some kind of side hustle that you're trying to build up into a business. We've got that Two of Pentacles there, where he's kind of, rather than me juggling, let's show you the card. He's got two pentacles, but look at the rainbow. So the Two of Pentacles is showing that, okay, yes, he's juggling these things, but he's doing it brilliantly. There's no sense of him fumbling it. He's doing it really, really well. Overall, Sagittarius, I think that this is a really upbeat reading. Don't be scared by the Tower. Just to know that because of the lessons and the experiences that you've had, you are going to come to some realizations, and it's going to change the way that you approach the situation. It's going to change the way you think about your life, but that's a good thing. Remember, in this world, change is the only constant. And if we can remember that and keep rolling with it, it all works out for us. All right, I'd like to pull an oracle card for Sagittarius. Let's see what you have here. Tiger, fire. Ooh, what a beautiful card. You're a fire sign, so this works out really great for you. I choose to be unstoppable. My passion is my power. I am bold. I am brave. Mighty forces come to my aid. I think this is going to be really, really great for you in the month of January. Take a look at it again. Look at that, Sagittarius. That's you. You're the tiger. Your power, your passion is your power. Ooh, I like that. All right. Well, thank you so much for being with me today. And for the month of January, I wish you all the best. This is YouTube, so do all the things. Press the buttons, ring the bells to get notified so that you can know when next month's readings are coming out. I hope you'll join me there. And have a wonderful month. Bye.